Hello, YouTube world. My name is Robby Williams, and welcome back to another episode of the Critical Cognitive Aggressive Thinking channel. I want to say to my new subscribers and all the new people that has viewed, and even if you didn't subscribe, thank you for just taking a look at my videos. I plan to bring more. And yes, it's been a little bit. I've been putting up, uploading some shorts, but the short videos were just something to just keep the channel active. And now this is a full-length video. I try to keep it as short as possible, but my videos normally run 30 minutes. So with no further ado, I want to thank my family, friends, all of you for just hanging in there with me. And we're going to dive in this. I've been reading a lot lately about gun violence, and I just did a little research on what's going on with it. And I thought about it. I say, maybe I need to just put something together for my channel, because a lot of times, there are professional people that do talk about how gun violence is affecting people's health. And I'm mostly talking about mental health. So some people may say, well, what do gun violence have to do with your channel? Because you're a health channel. Well, that is it. Now, this is about the effects that gun violence has had and will continue to have on people in America. Now, this is happening all over, but right now we're focusing on America. The topic in which I chose is a question. And I want you all to be a little bit more active with my channel as far as the comment section. And please dive in to tell me what you think about this question and how you would answer it. The question is, and the topic, it is, do you believe that the gun violence crisis in America has reached the level of epidemic proportions? So think about epidemic proportions. Think about the coronavirus, how it ripped through America in epidemic proportions. So epidemic proportion refers to the frequency with which an event occurs in a specific location, which we're talking about America, resulting in a disproportionately large number of individuals being affected. That's us at large, everyone, because gun violence is happening all over America. And whether you live in a city away from it, whether it's 100 miles, 50 miles, 30 miles, it doesn't matter. It's going to have an effect on you. Whether you read it in the newspaper or see it in the news, and a lot of people are reposting it on YouTube. No matter how you get the information, it's going to have an effect on you. And this is why I'm having this video right now. I'm running this video. Now, according to a report in February this year, 2024, there was a proposal to decrease the minimum age for requiring a handgun in Florida, which is 21. They want to drop it from 21 back to 18. What do you think about that? With all the trouble we're having right now with young people with handguns running around, shooting at gas stations, you see it all over the place. You can't go to a dollar store without worrying about somebody walking in and just unloading. You can't go to an event where there's a small event where people gather together as a family picnic or something like that, or a barbecue. People can't gather together even at a mall or a church. because we got knuckleheads out there that just saying, hey, have no reason to care about other people's lives. I got my heat on me and I'm gonna use it however I want to because I'm bad, I'm this, however they talk about it. And I'm not gonna try to assimilate them or anything like that. I'm just saying that the problem is, why would you want to decrease the age when we already having a problem with the age at 21? And I think we just need stiffer laws, and we need to make it more difficult to get a handgun. I think everybody should go through some type of training and receive a certificate stating that they went through these hours of training before they even be able to even walk in a store to buy a gun. Now that's just me. What do y'all think? Hit me in the comments. I have the link for all this information I'm giving. It'll be in the description box. But moving on, the number of mass shooting in the US from 1966, that's how far I'm going back, 1966 to 2022 in America, the number of mass shootings were around 441 mass shootings. I'm not talking about people unalive. I'm talking about mass shootings itself, 441, which resulted in 1,569 deaths from 1966 to 2022. Think about it, my people. Think about it. 3,923 victims as a total from that period of time. Those wounded and those that lost their lives. But this is one of the reasons why I wanted to touch on this subject, is what the Surgeon General just stated recently. So a writer from the Associated Press published on June the 25th of this year, her name Amanda, I can't really pronounce her last name, so I'm just going to say Amanda S., respectfully. This author wrote that the U.S. Surgeon General has called gun violence a public health crisis for the first time. Now, if anybody can find it any other time, please find it and stick it in the comment section so I know about it. But he's the first one that said this is a public health crisis. Props to that brother. We can say hand claps, whatever you want to say. Props to that brother. Because he's aware that more than 48,000 Americans has died from gunshot injuries in 2022. He also noticed that in 2022, a total of 46 Americans age 1 to 19 died by gun violence. Now, this is when I say gun violence, because I know some of you are going to say, well, I thought you said it was less than that. That was just mass shooting. That did not include gun violence as a whole. So I want you to follow me on this now. So when I first mentioned what was stated from 1966 to 2022, that was just focusing on mass shootings alone. That did not include domestic violence, someone getting mad, shooting someone else. No. Now I'm including it all. More than 48,000 Americans died from gun injuries in 2022. In 2022, a total of 4,602 Americans age ranging from 1 to 19 died by gunshot. Due to the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, with new laws enhanced, background checks have prevented approximately 800 firearm sales to individuals under the age 21. And that's why we have to keep working towards strengthening these type of laws so that we can keep more people under 21 from buying guns or acquiring guns. Now, according to state statistics, approximately 2.5 million individuals in Florida poses concealed carry permit. They pose to be carrying. They are actually carrying concealed weapons permits. Now, this is a good thing that they have these permits. That means they went through proper channels to be able to get these concealed carry permits and to do what they're doing. So they possesses these things. Excuse my pronunciation of the word. Let me move on. Individuals living in economically disadvantaged regions are more prone to experience gunshot injuries, whereas minorities population face higher likelihood of being disproportionately affected by both lethal and non-lethal shootings. So we already know that when you're talking about low-income areas, there's a struggle there. There's a struggle economically, there's a struggle socially, there's a struggle in the environment altogether. And guess what? With all those struggles, you have some attitudes where people will say, I got to get mine however I can get mine. And that's when we run into these type of situations. Now, when we talk about that, I'm going to drop some more statistics. Then I'm going to go into the mental health side of all this. And I just really want you to just follow me on this because everything is coming together here. From 2019 to 2022, the death rate due to gun violence among children and adolescents increased 46%. This is why he called it a crisis, a public health crisis. And I call it an epidemic. He's not wrong. He is not wrong. Not at all. And for us to develop the ostrich syndrome and just stick our heads in the sand and act like, oh, my community fine. I say this. Preachers that live in these communities, I'm not saying what you're doing, what you're not doing. I'm not saying whether you're fighting this or not, but I'm saying that let's call people together and let's start at least having dialogue. And I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying those that are not, let's have dialogue. Let's figure out a way to sit down and let's talk about some way we can do grassroots work to help solve these issues. In 2022, around 8 children per day died by firearm. Let me repeat that. In 2022, around 8 children per day, 8 children per day, 8 children per day died by firearm. 2022. 2012 to 2022, nearly 20,000 children ages 17 and younger are unalive due to gun violence, epidemic, public health crisis. That's what I see. Now let's talk about, I just want to go over to California because I was interested in what they said about it in California. What I really picked up on is this. New firearm weapon laws, State of California Department of Justice. In 2021, they signed 8 new bills into law to try to solve this crisis that we have in America, their part in their area, gun violence. In 2022, they signed 15 new bills into law, fighting this monster, gun violence. In 2023, they signed 22 new bills. I talked about what was happening, talked about it, going over it right now as we speak. America has signed in new bills. I mean, Florida. Okay. But it just really curious how they went from 8, then they did 15, then they did 20. That's mean things getting worse. Now think about the impact gun violence is having on families. Just think about it. Can gun violence cause PTSD? Yes, it can. You can develop PTSD due to being in that area. If you were at the mall during the time of the shooting, if you were at the school at the time of the shooting, if you were at the park at the time of the shooting, you can develop PTSD. Yes, gun violence has caused post-traumatic stress syndrome in the United States, and it can also cause other mental health issues. See, I think we have plenty of reason to come together as a people on a grassroots level and start really talking in our communities, having different rallies, whatever you want to call it, because I remember the time when they did it once before, Stop the Violence. They did that. And it was a good thing. It did some good work. But anyways, moving on. Let's talk about PTSD. The National Center for PTSD estimated that nearly 30% of people who survive a mass shooting develops PTSD. Post-traumatic stress syndrome is an anxiety disorder that may arise following an individual exposure or observation of a distressing event. Serious. Yeah, serious. Another one is anxiety itself. Okay. Gun violence can cause anxiety, in which can be hypervigilant and fearful. Anxiety disorder is a pathological state characterized by an overwhelming sense of anxiety, apprehension, and discomfort, which can profoundly impact an individual cognitive process, emotional well-being, and overall quality of life, people. Gun violence is doing it. Gun violence is ripping through us. And it's not something that I would say is easy to stop, but there are ways to deal with it. And I just think we just really hadn't put our finger on the pulse yet as America. What about depression? Gun violence can cause depression. Okay. Depression, also called depressive disorder, is a widespread mental health illness marked by persistent feelings of low mood, sadness, or disinterest, lack of interest in activities over an extended duration. So when you see these people that has lived through a traumatic situation that has to do with gun violence, oh, they're struggling sometimes. You just don't know it. They're not going to tell you. But I have mad respect for them. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Substance abuse disorder, another one. Gun violence can cause people start drugs. They start using after a situation like that. Eventually, they start using. Not everybody, but some people do it. The use of selected substances, including alcohol, tobacco products, drugs, inhalants, and other substances that can be consumed, inhaled, or injected. I'm dealing with my trauma. So I'm going to get Mr. Jack Daniels because I feel better when I'm using Jack Daniels to help me deal with this. That's the way of escaping the thought of it. And I'm going to hit that one right now. Trying to get away from the anticipation of this happening again to me. So we have what they call anticipatory stress. Survivors may experience anticipatory stress when reliving the memory of gun violence. I was there 2 years ago when this thing went down, and I can't shake it. So every time I see an environment similar, or if I feel like something ain't right, I'm automatically gonna think that it's finna happen again. This is finna happen. No, we can't. No, I can't. I'm not going over there. No, because last time I went over to a place like that, no, not for me. Stress and anxiety is just boiling in a pot. Anticipatory stress is a physiological and psychological reaction to that arises when an individual's foresee a challenging or uncertain circumstances that lie ahead. The fact that I don't know how I'm gonna come out of this, I just can't. No. I opt out. My YouTube family, Instagram family, TikTok family, my viewers, my subscribers, please check out this new video. Like, subscribe, share it, and let people know what's going on. We're doing it again. We are doing it again. And I am adding more short videos as well as my 30-minute videos. So check it out. I appreciate you all. Love you all. Hey, I'm out of here. And we have a holiday tomorrow. So y'all relax and take it easy. My name is Robby Williams. I'm the host of the Critical Cognitive Aggressive Thinking channel, and I'm out of here.